So, welcome to my guide to Singapore. So, just some quick stats on Singapore. We have 23 corners. We have three detection zone, not detection zone, three DRS zones. One on the start-finish straight, one after turn 5, and one after the hairpin on turn 13. Also, we have really soft tire compounds C5, C4, and C3, so that means that the softs are going to pretty much wear out after like 5 or 6 laps. The mediums are really grippy and also pretty durable, and the hards are really durable but not as grippy, and they lose some of their grip after like 30% wear. So I'm gonna show you my hot lap, and then after that I'm gonna jump right into how to take a lap around Singapore. So before you even start a lap, you obviously need a good exit out of the last turn. So what you want to do is just wait until that orange barrier has gone. Then lift off the throttle a tiny bit and aim for this pit entrance triangle, I'm gonna call it. Basically what you want to do is just try to aim with the nose for that sausage curb. You can pretty much run over that curb without spinning out if you have the differential set up like I have, because if you use the setup that I'm going to show you at the end, without the differential you're gonna instantly spin out, and that makes your crash into these barriers. So after hitting that curb, just go full throttle, open the DRS. Coming into the first turn, you're gonna watch out for the black box in front of us. As soon as that's gone, brake, turn in before you hit that curb. Basically, you see that 50 board? Just before that 50 board is going to disappear on your screen. Turn in, you can hit the curb with your right wheel, then try to aim for these sausage curbs with your nose. Again, this is not going to unsettle your car. It's actually going to set up. It's going to set up you well for that next bit. Basically, right both curbs, the one that the first turn has, and then this one. Don't run too wide though, because it's going to invalidate you. For the next turn, don't hit that inside curb. It's going to unsettle your car and just screw up your exit onto that uh, like light braking zone to the right. Get on the throttle really early, only at 50% though, because you're right on the cusp of spinning out. You always need to push like hell on this track. Like, it's either go big or go home. Just try to have balls on this track. Um, Obviously accelerate full throttle really early. Then try to stay on the left as long as possible, so we can set up your car for that sweeping right here. Then as soon as you hit that curb, brake, shift down to fourth. You can ride this curb, just cut it. You can try to again aim with your nose so that so yeah, like this. Then you can go on the throttle. Like, you need to be a bit conservative, because if you push the throttle down too hard, you're going to hit that wall. But if you don't push the throttle too like, if you don't get the maximum out of it, you're going to be really slow on the straight. So it's really just a compromise of not hitting the wall and getting the best exit possible. So after this DRS straight, we're going into a braking zone. Brake at around 75 meters. Then ride the curb on the right side with your right wheel. Basically, this corner is all about riding curbs. Ride this right one, then turn in. Try to hit the inside with your nose again. Really cut that curb, and then run that curb on the outside. You can also run the curb with your right wheel, or preferably with your nose like lined up with the curb. Also, this corner is doable in either third, which gives you not much more, but a little bit more rotation, or fourth, which is much safer on like throttle application coming out of the corner. So coming into this turn, you want to look at the black box and the 50-meter board. As soon as the black box is not obstructing the 50-meter board, you want to brake, go down to second. Really don't hit that curb with your right wheel. You want to avoid that, because it's going to like your car is going to bounce, and it's going to bounce into the wall. Nobody wants that, obviously, in the race and on a hot lap. Shift down to second. As you like hit the apex coming out of the corner, shift up to third, short shift. Then nail the throttle at 50% as soon as possible without spinning out. Then shift up to fourth. Again, black box. Trail brake into this corner. You can hit the curb with your left wheel, but that's also going to upset your car on this part. Again, try to nail the throttle as soon as possible. Be careful not to get too much oversteer. Also keep it out of the wall. If you get oversteer on this bit, you're probably screwed. Like, you are either going to lose the car going into the right, you're probably only going to lose the nose. But if you just get the oversteer, even though it's a stable car, if you get the oversteer coming from behind, you're probably going to end up sideways. So coming down to this bit, you want to brake it like 6 meters before the corner. Trail brake into that curb. You can pretty much run over that curb with your right wheel. Try to stay as close to the left as possible so you can set up that right hander. And just brake down to second. Also cut that curb right here. As soon as you are over the curb, upshift to third. Try to get on the power as early as possible, but find the absolute most you can do out of this. On this lap, I kind of oversteered right here because I hit, also a quick tip, because I hit the curb with my left rear while accelerating, so that's why I had that tiny bit of oversteer. Coming down to the hairpin, you want to drive as close as possible to this marble thingy. Brake deep into the corner, shift down to first. Then as you hit the apex, really close to the curb, but don't actually hit the curb because it's also going to unsettle your car. It just bounces you around, lets you have a ton of oversteer if you get on the power too early with that bounce. Get up to third, try to line up your car with that white line, and then go full throttle. So coming down to this corner, you want to brake after the 100 meter board. Just after 100 meter board, shift down to second. Also, you can hit that curb like I did right here, but only like a tiny bit. Then shift up to third as you hit that curb. And get really, really early on the power. Be careful though, because this white line right here are track limits. Try to just have the right wheel outside of that tiny bit. For this corner sequence, just brake as soon as that black and white barrier part begins. Just after that, then shift down to second, really turn into this bit. You can ride both of these curbs. Just be careful though not to ride too much curb, because this would probably be like really like almost an invalidation, like really close. Also, shift down to second and shift up to third as soon as you hit this. Then just eat that curb with your nose. Just ride around, right on top of that curb, and let your car like travel to the outside. Again, really early on the power application, don't hit the wall. Coming down to this black box, as soon as the black box is on the top of your screen, brake, cut that corner on the inside, shift down to second, shift up to third as soon as you hit that curb. Then a tiny bit of acceleration so your car rotates, hitting that inside curb, aiming with the right wheel towards that sausage curb. Accelerate a bit, then you come into like a pretty tricky part. Again, stay as close to the left as possible, really turn into the corner. Try to, again, aim with the middle of the car towards the curb, and then shift up to, you shift up to third after you hit that, like downshifting, upshifting. Then as soon as you are on this curb, shift up to fourth. I did it a bit late. Didn't jeopardize my lap though, but sometimes it's just going to like give you tons of oversteer if you do this in third. So fourth is really the best gear to go through this. Also, don't turn in too early for this part, because if going to do that, you're definitely going to cut. So just turn a bit later than you're used to, because that will really help with getting those corners right. And as soon as you hit fourth, just try to not hit the wall. Again, just like the beginning, watch out for the right orange part of the barrier, turn in, aim for the curb on the inside. And that's why I almost got invalidated, because I ran too wide, because I had, I think, a bit too much throttle application. I lifted off too late. So you might want to watch out for that, not lifting too late, because that's probably going to invalidate your lap. It's not my fastest time, but it's if I didn't have those like 2 oversteer moments, I would have probably gone faster, maybe a 0.5. But yeah. So that's it for the hot lap gap. Now I'm gonna give you a couple of tips during the race. Dirt there is going to be a complete bitch through pretty much all the circuit. There's probably no overtaking happening in the third sector. The only overtaking is probably going to be in here. And coming down after the DRS straight, maybe here, not really the best part to overtake, because you have a long straight. Not a long straight, but you have a straight right here. You will probably have another overtaking opportunity right here. Stay to the inside, because like you have the inside line, the outside car needs to really slow down. So this corner is probably not doable with 2 people side by side. Pretty much the only real other overtaking opportunity is coming down to this corner, because you have a long straight, you have a DRS straight, you're coming out of a hairpin, so if you get better exit, it's going to pretty much set up your overtake right here. Other things to watch out is tire degradation. The softs are going to be really bad after like 5 laps, if you count in the in lap, out lap, and quali lap. The most probable strategy is soft, medium, medium. Soft, medium, soft is probably not doable, because the softs at the end of the stint are not going to last that long. You can also go medium hard, but the hards are also really shit on this track, because they lose traction like after 30%. Watch out for many safety cars on this track. In like one practice race we had like 3 safety cars. Also, watch out for your front wings. Don't get too much oversteer. And yeah, that's basically it. There are like a couple of DRS traits, but overtaking is not really possible on this track. So your track position is going to be really important, and your decision making under the safety car. Now I'm going to show you my setup. So here's my setup. Aerodynamics 911, transmission 5252 for that really stable last turn. Suspension geometry minus 2.5, minus 1, front toe 0.05, rear toe 0.20, suspension 189913, brakes 150, tires, of course you want to have as much grip as possible, so why not, put everything to put the tire pressure really low so that the tire really just has much more contact with the track. So I hope you have learned something in this little guide. Also, as a little mistake I made in the beginning, that track map at the beginning was an outdated map. This is the updated map. Just wanted to bring that into this video, so nobody is going to tell me, hey, you used the outdated map. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna see you on the racetrack and have fun, guys.